easy tips. This is the third take. I'm not doing it again. 5 easy tips for the new builder's base. It's been over a week since I've made a video, and it shows. I suck right now. So we're gonna go over probably the 5 most important things when you are building your builder base. And the top priority is going to be the laboratory, Star Laboratory. When you first get into your builder hall, let's say if you're in builder hall 1 going to builder hall 2, the very first thing you want to upgrade is the laboratory. You need to get your troops going right away. There's a lot of similarities with the builder base and your regular base, and one of the things that you really want to do is you need to get your troops going before you get your defenses going. Now there's a lot more attention that is being paid to the balancing, so you can't go way ahead on offense and it not hurt you. You're gonna have to upgrade things pretty evenly. But in Builder Hall 1 to 3, your archers are definitely your strongest troop. Builder Hall 4, the baby dragons turn into the strongest troop. Once you get it, you have 8 upgrades on the baby dragon in Builder Hall 4. But once you get it up close to max, it's by far the strongest troop. And then once you get into Builder Hall 5, you get a shift from the air back down to the ground. At least with the troops we have now, we have more troops coming, but right now it's going to be the giant in the cannon cart, which I'm actually working on the cannon cart right now. So first thing you have to focus on is that laboratory. Upgrade it right away. The very first thing you do before you bring anything else out. So next thing is just your base building fundamentals. One, we're going to go over how you're going to set up the core, and then the trap placement. Those are 2 huge factors. This is a very common way that everyone is setting up their core. They'll put the builder hall in the middle, and then they'll split up the 4 air defenses, the 2 archer towers, and then the air balloons or the air bombs, and then the firecrackers, which is the air defenses. And you'll just kind of make the cross out of it. And this is kind of your basic core setup, and it's actually hard. If you're going to come at it with air, it's hard. So, and then next thing is you have to protect yourself from the ground. So if you're going to go with that core setup, then you can just put your 4 cannons, which is actually 2 cannons, 1 double cannon in that crusher, and you just put it in the 4 corners. And then you notice where the traps are. Those spring traps are all in the core, and there's a reason for it. We'll get into that a little later. And now, if you look on the outside of the base, I have, kind of strewn across the outside some of the small bombs and some of those push traps. And the key to these things are, you don't want your spring traps to where the archers are going to run over them. And you don't want your push traps to where the giants are going to run over them. You want things specifically for certain troops. You want to spring the giants out of there. And you want your archers to hit those little bombs. So put them away from the defenses. Put them on resources where the giants won't even come close to. Alright, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But next big thing you have to do, and this is a huge, can't say it enough how important this is. Watch all the replays of the attacks on your base. And if you see this base, I would never build a base like this in regular Clash. I would never build a big giant square. But this type of base is actually pretty effective at the level that I'm at right now. I've tried several different types of bases. The way this base is right here, it's hard for them to pick a good spot to come in. All the walls are pretty much even, so they can pick a spot to come in. They don't know where all the traps are. And again, I've made sure that all of the spring traps are in between defenses, just like you would trying to defend against a hog rider raid, where the hogs are going from defense to defense. The giants go from defense to defense. You're gonna try to spring those giants because they're pretty tough on your defenses. So put those spring traps next to all of your defenses, and then in between all the resource collectors, all the trash buildings or whatever, that's where you put your little bombs. I also try to use a giant bomb. And I'm trying to keep it away from the giants as well, because the giants will soak up that damage and it might wipe out all of the archers or all of the barbarians or whatever else they're using on the ground. Alright, next big step is, we know, and this is a big complaint for everyone, is that you only get to do 3 raids a day for loot. And there is a way that you can work this to your advantage, and that is to push your trophies while you cannot raid for loot. So I've already done my 3 raids. I've got all the loot I can get for the day. I have 24 hours to wait. I can either spend gems to boost that up and be able to attack again for loot. But instead of doing that, I'm going to do a bunch of raids and try to push my trophy count up as high as I can get it. That way the next time I do raid, I will get a lot more for the bonuses on it. So I'm also trying different attacks when I'm not actually attacking for loot, so that way I'm not lowering my trophy count while I'm actually going to earn loot. So practice all your attacks while the loot count's not there. Try to push your trophy count up. A good trophy count, what I'm thinking for most players, can be around 2,000. You're not dealing with too many elite players at 2,000 trophies. And because if you get up to 2,500 trophies, there are tons of good players there already. Never mind up in the 3,000. So try to get those trophies up to around 2,000. That will almost fill up your storages at Builder Hall 4. Once you get into Builder Hall 5, it's a little harder to fill up with that 3 raids period. But there is something to keep in mind, and everyone needs to keep this in mind, because I know that if there's one complaint that people have, it's that there was a lot of build up for the update, and that it was a little bit of a letdown when people can't do what they normally do, and that is go out and raid and farm and just go out and earn as much as they can. People take a lot of pride in how much they can get every day, so having these kind of restrictions kind of hurt people's their pride a little bit. And on top of that, it made people think that Supercell was just going for the money. But what they did actually is they balanced it out, and the reason why I say that is because no one can raid you, so no one is taking any loot from you. Everything you get is always a positive gain, so you're not losing anything. So the fact is, yes, you only can do 3 raids a day for loot, but you're not getting raided and you're not losing any loot, so it's always you're always going forward with the loot. So push those trophies up, get your trophy count as high as you can handle. Practice all your different types of attacks, and don't fall in love with one troop. I've made that mistake with the baby dragons. If you're watching, all these replays are all baby dragons, and then I get into Builder Hall 5, and a lot of these Builder Hall 5s have 2 firecrackers, and they have the hero and all those other things, and it was really hard for me to keep the trophy count up where it was. I went from 2,400 trophies down to 18 just because I wasn't prepared and wasn't using all the troops. So last thing, and this is probably the focal point of the whole video, is the importance of the clock tower. And this goes right back to, we're only allowed to loot 3 times a day, so we are limited with the updates that we can do, upgrades that we can do. So this clock tower, as you're upgrading it, like right now I have mine at 12 minutes, so 3 times a day I turn it on and I get a 12-minute boost, and it's a times 10 boost. So you do the math, everything that I have upgrading for that 12 minutes, it will end up looking like it had been upgrading for 120 minutes. So that's a 2-hour boost really. So every time that you hit the clock tower, when it's at level 4 like mine is, that's a 2-hour boost on every single thing that you have building. Plus your troops are flying, and you're able to just go on raid after raid. So time all this stuff. Use all 3 of them a day. I mean, this is how you push your base ahead, and it's it's a really important part of the game. And I really suggest and urge you to use that clock tower to the best of your ability. So short video. Hope you enjoyed it. First one in a while. Appreciate everyone for watching. And got another one coming up, probably not tomorrow, but the next day. So till next time, it's been easy. Take care, everybody.